Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge here on Calmlands. It is now December. Today is going to be a day full of selling stuff, and I have also figured out an answer for our rice. Now, we're coming up here now to it. Basically what I've done here is I've put down a small silo and then hooked up basically a mill to that silo. Now this mill is basically an oil mill. It's not actually a normal mill. So what we're probably going to end up doing is keeping that mill down there specifically for flour, and this mill will now become our rice mill. But not only can we do rice, but we can also do rice oil. Not only can we do rice, not only can we do canola oil and sunflower oil, we can also do rice oil here, which is pretty cool, I think. So we're going to try that out. So we're going to dump the rice here and start making some rice oil. Now it's up here, right here by the house, which I think is a great spot for it, so we're going to leave it there, which is really close to the sell point as well. Now that mill down there is not close to the sell point, but that's okay, right? That's okay. So what we're going to do here, what we're going to attempt to do here, is I'm going to try to get the rest of the canola out of that mill down here and bring it up to this one, just so we can kind of keep them separated. You know, it's been sharing. I doubt I'll be able to get it out of here, but I'm just going to take a look anyway. Nope, cannot, so that's fine. So we'll head down here and see what we can get out of the mill. Hopefully we can get all of it out of the mill. If we can't, we can't, but that's at least the goal for the time being, is to pull all the canola and move it up to there. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. As a matter of fact, whoa, I just ran right into those. As a matter of fact, today is actually the best time to sell all of the canola oil. And we've got quite a bit in this mill. It's not a ton, but there's quite a bit. We're probably also going to sell the flour today as well. Is it not? Is it the best time to sell the flour? No, it's technically not. But the flour is best to sell next month, and it's like a $10 difference. I'm not that concerned about it right now. We've been having an issue with storage anyway. $7.88 to $7.99. Technically, I could get more if I go to the farmers market, which is all the way on the other side of the map, but that's okay. We'll just take what we have to our own sell point. Now, realistically, what I would like to do is, get a flatbed trailer for this, because we're going to need it. Just a cheap one. I don't want anything super expensive. $3,000 to $5,000, maybe $6,000 at most. I would like to purchase. The next thing I want to do as well is get a chainsaw, and I don't know if we're going to be able to since they're so small still, but I want to chop down some of these trees that we planted. I just don't think they're working out very well where they are. A couple of them are floating, like the one back there at the very beginning we just ran through, and then some of these up here, which you didn't really notice it until you look closer, but that is 100% floating. This one's floating. I mean, most of these are floating up here, so really probably just get rid of these up here. And then what does that mean? Well, that means technically we could put a little bit of a track in here, and that means I could put something here in front of Grandma's knitwear, potentially. So we'll see, right? But that's probably what we're going to end up doing. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are pretty good here, all things considered. And let's go ahead and turn on the canola oil. Boom. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the sunflower oil on as well, just so we don't forget, because we're probably going to do sunflowers for next session, or next season, I guess I should say. All right, so that is underway. So we'll go ahead and put this back. The chickens, I think they're okay. I don't think they need any food, but we should probably just take a look at all of our animals here. Yeah, the sheep are perfectly fine. We kind of knew that. Chickens, yeah, they could use a little bit of a top off, so let's just go ahead and do that while we're here. They're not going to take much, but a little bit of a top off won't hurt. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. We've got that hay to sell as well. Or straw, excuse me, to sell. Not hay. Straw to sell as well. The crawfish should be coming up soon to a period where they're ready to sell. This grass is ready to be mowed today. So we've got a lot to do, really. Do we have to get all of that done today? No, technically we do not, but we do have a lot to get done. Alright, perfect. They have been topped off. They were excited about that. So we'll drop this back into the silo here, and then we will put the trailer over here away in its temporary, long-term location, I guess. We do have a couple pallets of salt as well. You know, salt, it's kind of past its best time to sell now. It may still be decent. If it is, I'm considering selling it. Fine salt, yeah. I mean, that's not bad, actually. Flour salt has dropped significantly, so yeah, we shouldn't sell that one. But the fine salt's not that bad. Fine salt is only a couple $100 off, so that's really not that bad, in my opinion. But let's head up to the store there. Let's see if we can buy a very small flatbed trailer, or you know, bale trailer or whatever. Let's see if we can find something that we can utilize here, so that way I don't have to make so many trips with all of that flour. There's quite a lot of flour. Now, a lot of people might say, and they've said it in the past, well, why don't you just turn it on auto selling? You know, I could. You're right. I could do that, but I'm not really planning to do that or wanting to do that. You know, this series was meant to be, you know, a pretty difficult series, and I feel like that would, you know, just make it super easy doing it that way. So we're not going to do that. Now, certainly, have I done it every once in a blue moon? Yeah, probably, but for the most part, I haven't been doing that, so I'm going to try to continue to stick with that approach of not doing that, and rather doing it the way you should be doing it, which is putting it on a trailer and going and taking it, right? So, let's see what we can find here. I don't know what we're going to be able to find, honestly. I just want something really cheap. It doesn't need to be a big one. It needs to be, you know, a decent size, but it doesn't need to be anything crazy. I mean, that might be okay right there. What else do we have down here? We are utilizing this one in the Vintage Survival series, so I guess I could go with this one. It's a very similar type of approach. It's very cheap, 3,800. Gives a little bit more space as well. Yeah, let's go with that one. I was going to buy red. 3,800 bucks is very inexpensive, so we'll go with that. Slightly bigger than the one we were looking at too, so. Really, this is all this is going to be used for anyway, right? So, it's worth it in my opinion. Alright, I got that back here. We're going to drive this on over here. Now, we have some stones in here we probably should pick up today, potentially. So I won't flood that for now. The crawfish might be burning themselves right now, but I won't flood it for the time being because I would like to get those stones up. Then we can flood that field pretty quickly. Now, I'm not going to put all of this on camera. I'm going to full transparency here for you. I'm not going to do all of this on camera. I will do a little bit here. This, among many, this is probably my least, well, how am I going to word this? I'm not wording this correctly already. It's probably the thing I'm the least best at, I guess, in Farming Simulator, is stacking stuff. I know a lot of people are that same way, but you know, for me, it's just not my best thing. I'm on console, so I utilize a controller, which is probably a little bit easier than maybe some other things. I don't know. Maybe PC's easier. I have no idea, but anyway, I tried the best I can given the circumstances. It's just normally it's not good enough. I think I can go further than that. Yeah, I can push that further than that. I don't know how many actually are going to spawn here. I might not need to do this, but let's see if we can push these a little bit further. There we go. That's better. Now, these aren't perfect by any means, right? They're not perfectly lined up. I don't really need them to be perfectly lined up, if I'm completely honest with you all. You know, as long as they're on there, I mean, that's really that matters. We're not going that far with them. We just need all of them to be up there and on there and not fall off. That's truly all we need. And I got these on the wrong forks, didn't I? I should put them on the other fork. The other side of the fork, I should say. Here we go. So anyway, yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. Things are good, man. Working on a new series that's going to eventually replace this series whenever we're done with this one. Like I said, we're probably 10 episodes away, maybe a little bit longer than that on this series before we'll be done, but ooh. That did not work right. Okay, well, you know what? We're just going to just gloss over this for a minute. I'm just going to push these forward a little bit because that is not going to plan at all. But yeah, I've been working on a new series that's going to, at least trying to plan out a new series going to take place of this one. Don't want this series to end. I've mentioned that a number of times, but it is time. So I'm working on one. I think it's going to be really good. I think you'll really enjoy it. It will not be the Season 2 of this. I said there would be a Season 2 of this, and there will be. But what we're going to be, it'll be a little bit of time, I guess is how I'll put it, before the next series or season of this comes out. A couple reasons for that, really. One, I'm thinking about doing some kind of a multiplayer version of that one-tile challenge with a few of the guys. When I say the guys, I'm talking about the standard crew of us that always make challenges or do each other's challenges together. You know, Crestu, Northern Farm Sim, Rusty, etc. Whoever it is, whoever it ends up being, Farmer Mike, whoever it ends up being. So we'll see, right? We'll see if that comes to fruition, and really we want to do it on a different map. We don't want to do it on the same exact map. So we're kind of looking for a good map that comes out that's going to work out and make sure that it fits all of our schedules as well, right? That's going to be the most difficult thing, is trying to get all of us together at least once a week or whatever it may be to do that. But it is something that we've kind of talked about, and we're going to try to see if we can make it work. If we can't make it work, we can't make it work. Don't yell at us too much, but we're going to attempt it. We're going to attempt it. But I've mentioned this many times. I've got a list of about, I don't know, 15-ish challenges that I've made up out of my crazy head. The problem with those is, you know, I've got these challenges set, and I want to do them, but I don't really know if it's going to pan out as well when it comes to the game, right? So on paper, I'm like, well, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good. But then you start thinking about, we're having some issues here. You start thinking about, you know, you put it into the game, and then all of a sudden, well, it actually doesn't come out as well as you thought it was going to. In other words, on paper, you know, that series is going to be like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But then you try to incorporate it into the game, and it just doesn't work for whatever reason, right? Whether it's, you know, what you have at your disposal to utilize, or, you know, whatever it may be, it just doesn't work out as well as you had hoped or had thought. So then you kind of have to scrap that idea, or you kind of have to go back to the drawing board and see if you can figure out another way to incorporate it that makes sense and makes it work, right? I've had a lot of those. So right now I've got about 2 or 3 that I'm kind of working with right now. I'm not going to give you any spoilers of what those are, but I've got a couple that I'm working on, trying to, you know, figure out which one's going to make the cut for the first one and which one's we're going to be doing here. I think it's going to be really fun, though. There's some crazy challenges that I have come up with in my mind. I've got a lot of crazy ideas, man, and so we'll see. We'll see what we come up with here. We'll see which one comes out to be the next challenge. Now, full transparency, my members do get a little bit of early access into what those may potentially be. There's a link down below if you're interested in that. Shameless plug, but they kind of help me out too, right? We'll try to start working through one, and if it's not working, you know, they have input and get to provide input, I guess I should say, into a new series. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of these stacked up here off camera with you. I might even utilize a little bit of the liftable bale and pallet mods. Full disclosure, I don't know yet. I might try to straighten these out a little bit more than I have. Well, that went well. Let me get these up there, gang. I'll be back with you in a second. All right, I've got them all up there, gang. I did utilize a little bit of the movable bale and pallet mods just to try to straighten them out a little bit better than what I had up there. But they're all up there now. There's only 2 pallets of canola oil, which is a little upsetting. I was expecting and hoping for a little bit more than that, and we didn't get that, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. What are you going to do, right? All right, so they're all up there. Good. That's going to work out well. I don't think there's anything else that's going to spawn any second now. No, there's 450 liters of canola oil and sunflower oil and everything else. And the wheat flour is running still, which is great. But the sunflower oil and the canola oil are both missing. So even though I just said I'm not going to just sell them directly, these are not going to be utilized in here anymore. So we might as well go ahead and turn those on to auto selling for the time being, because they're just going to stay in there. They're never going to go anywhere else. So we'll put those on selling, and then I'm just going to turn them off. That way it's not even a worry. So when 10 o'clock here hits here in a little bit, we're going to make a little extra money off of that as well. So that's going to be good. So let's take these up here and sell these. Now the crawfish, I'm pretty sure that's it's a weird period of time. I'm pretty sure we looked at that many times already. Yeah, May. So it's about the same time period as when we're going to be selling the clothes. Which I think that's going to be the telling factor, right? When we sell all the crawfish, we sell the clothes, that's really going to give us the idea of how many more episodes we're going to have. So at a bare minimum, you've got today, so December, January, February, March, April, May, 5 to 6 episodes bare minimum before we really know how many more we're going to have to do. Because we're going to make a good amount of money when that comes. We've got 3 pallets of clothes there, we've got 3 pallets of crawfish. We're going to have a lot more crawfish and a lot more clothes by the time that happens. I'm going to turn around here, actually. That was not the best lineup there, Z. Still 3 pallets of 3 bales, excuse me, of grass there, so. Okay, evidently I was not close enough on the rest. $7,607, almost $8,000 there because we just sold a little bit more. Evidently I got to get really, really close with this one, so. Or it won't sell them. Alright, so almost 20 grand, just under 20 grand off of that. I feel like that's pretty good. It's actually not as good as I expected it to be, but I guess that's good enough, I guess, for the time being. So we got $49,000. So, let's put this back over here. I'm just going to drive through that tree again, because I can for the time being. I'm not going to be able to very soon, but I can for now. Let's put this back over here. Then we'll grab the stone picker. And we can start picking up all the stones here. So leave it right there. Whether that's a good spot or not, we're going to leave it right there. So we'll get the stones out of the rice field. Then I can maybe set... you know what? Actually, matter of fact, I was going to say, but then I could probably set a worker on doing it. But you know what? Let's do the stones today ourselves. Let's put the worker on plowing up the cornfield here in preparation for next season. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's going to be a good thing. Now the straw, it doesn't really fluctuate all that much. We've gone over this many, many times. I'm once again going to say, please, Giants, give me the option to star things or favorite things. It's best to sell now. So we will be selling the straw today as well. Looks like it was dropping in price, actually, but that's all right. We'll take care of it after we get the other stuff that I want to do today done. So we'll start a worker on doing this. And we'll go get the stone picker, and we will get started. We're going to pick the stones off of this field and that field, and then eventually, once their worker's done plowing this field, we'll get that field as well. Which is good. I think we've got enough lime in here for the time being, but we did utilize quite a bit here recently, so it might be time soon for us to potentially start selling some of that lime, make us a little bit of extra money, right? Continue our progress here to trying to pay off the loan. We're at $215,000. I remember 200 and something. 250,000. Yeah, $215,000. Our loan interest is $716 a month, which is pretty good. It doesn't really show you because I can't go back any further than that, but if I was able to go more to the left there, you would see how much we have actually started to save based off of paying that loan off. So that's been extremely helpful. Continuing that progress. We should have did it earlier than we did, but I wanted to get other things done, so I just was able to suffer through it. Alright, so now, watch out, crawfish, I'm coming through. We're going to get all these stones picked up. We'll get it from this field, get in the other field, and then we'll see where we're at after that, and we'll continue on. All right, we are pretty much done here, gang. Now, we do need to get the rocks up on that field over there, but I've decided I'm going to hold off on doing that until the next episode. Obviously, we're in the winter months right now, so that will give us something else that we can do in a following episode, and we've got enough to do, really, today. We also have the grass we can mow. I mentioned that earlier. We'll decide if we're going to actually mow it today or not. That is something else we can mow in the winter months, but it will not be growing back for a while. So whenever we do mow it, it's probably going to be the last time we get to mow it until next season. Which is fine, not a big deal, but... Now, as far as these fields go, I want to double-check them. I don't think we need to fertilize them a second time. I think we took care of everything. But, I mean, I guess it's worth taking a look. Yeah, to me, they're good. They're fine. They don't need anything at all. Obviously, the grass field needs lime, but we're not worried about that on grass field, if I'm honest with you. So let's back this back into its little location here. If I can actually do it the proper way. Come on, Z, get together, buddy. All right, perfect. So drop that off. Now, do these need water? It has a little bit of water. I think it's okay. How are our salt marshes doing as far as water goes? Perfectly fine, and the big one's got 35,000 liters of water. This one has 7,000. That's still enough for the time being. We can do that in a following episode. The fine salt's pretty decent to sell right now, so I think I'm going to sell that, gang. I'm a little tempted to sell that, so I think we're going to do that. That's going to make us a little bit of extra funds. Then we're going to sell all of these straw bales, as I showed you early on, right? The straw bales are best to sell now, so we need to sell those. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me go get the trailer right now and bring it over here, because we're going to need to bring it over here anyway. Then we'll go drop the plow off back where it's supposed to be, and then we can start working on selling those 2 pallets of fine salt, and then we will get the bales up onto the trailer here. The dried corn, that is not good to sell right now, so there's really not a whole lot else for us to sell, unfortunately. Dried corn, I believe... I'm going to say it wrong, so I'm not even going to say it. I should know it by now. June. Yeah, June. January's not a bad price, though, so we'll take it. We'll take a peek when January comes and see how that's doing. Before I forget, let's give the crawfish a little water, now that I've destroyed their home there a little bit by picking all the stones up, but that's okay. They'll be all right. We're also going to pay a little bit more of the loan off today as well. We'll probably get it down to 200,000, honestly, is probably where we're going to get it at. Nothing crazy, but, you know, it'll do the trick, right? All right. We've got to do a little bit of touch-up here on this field as well. As you can see, they did not do the extent that we wanted them to do, so let's touch that up first. Shouldn't take us too long to do it. So we've got to do the edges here, and then over there, obviously, they didn't want to do it near the sheep. They always have issues with that. It is what it is. We're kind of forcing, you know, things to be closer than the GPS or the worker wants them to be, right? Without them getting confused. So we are sliding all over the place here, gang. I guess I should be utilizing the Fiat. The Fiat is a much better tractor for this, but we've utilized it in the past, and it hasn't really been a major issue, but for whatever reason, we are sliding all over the place. Rain is in the forecast today. I don't think I mentioned that yet. In the right-hand corner, you can see that. I do not know when the rain's going to be here. Full transparency, I have not looked. Let's do a quick autosave here, and then we'll see where that is. Eggs, we literally missed selling the... Well, no, we sold them last time, didn't we? We did sell them. It's been a couple of days. Let's see. Rain is not till 1700, so we will be done with the episode by 1700. That's not a problem. That is not a problem. Now, I don't know if it's going to actually let me get rid of these trees with them being so small or not, but we are going to buy a chainsaw today. It's long overdue. The fact that we haven't had a chainsaw in this series is crazy, but at the same time, we didn't have any trees to cut down, right? So we'll buy a chainsaw today. I don't know which one I want to buy, honestly. I don't really think it matters. I think I'm just going to go... I use steel a lot, so let's go a different one than we do. Let's go to John Sird. A lot of baby sheep in there. That's a good thing, man. We've got some teenage sheep as well. Baby sheep's running over here to see what I'm doing. He has no clue what's going on. He just came into the world recently. That little guy. Look how tiny he is. Look at him. I don't know how many extra sheep we have in here now. We have a maxed out on the sheep now, so that's good. That means they're going to start chewing through this grass a little bit faster. They've got plenty of food, so it's really not a problem. And then they've got the meadow grass too, right? So not a problem, but at the same time, we're going to keep an eye on that as we move forward here. I think 4 bales over there is going to be more than enough for 52 sheep, but you know, I could be wrong. Once the babies get a little bit bigger, I could be extremely wrong on that statement. When they're smaller, they're obviously not eating a whole lot. All right, we are done. So let's go put this away, and then we'll start working on selling the fine salt. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to leave the plow on to move the fine salt, because we're going to need a bit of a counterweight, because we don't have a weight. And there's really not a reason to buy a weight, if I'm honest with you. There's no reason to do it. You just utilize something else you have. It's just an easier thing to do, and it saves you money, right? Okay, which one of these is the... Okay, that's the flour salt. We don't want to sell that because the price drops significantly on that. Now, the problem with that is it's not going to be good again to sell until September. So, while I'm not selling it right now, there may come a time when we're getting close to the end of the series, and we might just go ahead and sell it at 20,000 a pop, right? Might happen, but our goal is not to do that unless we're at the point where we're going to end the series, that episode, right? Right, let's see if we can get the other one here. We are bouncing all over the place. Okay, that is still too heavy, even with this on, for whatever reason. Wow, that is extremely heavy. I can't even pick that up, gang. Holy smokes. Okay, well, I guess we'll do one at a time then. That's not really the most ideal situation, but we'll do it. It is what it is, right? So 1,000 liters of fine salt. We do have coarse salt in there as well that we moved most of that over in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, whatever it may have been. We probably need to move that over again today too, because that's going to provide us a little bit more funds as well as we move along. We did spend quite a bit of money there on the worker, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. It was worth it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. How's our oil mill doing? It is doing good. They are working well. 259 liters of rice oil, 217 of the canola oil. We made $2,582 off that one pallet of salt, so I think that's pretty daggone good too. So this should get us closer, just under 55 grand, which is really good. As far as the actual loan itself, like I said, I want to go ahead and get down to 200,000. Let's just go ahead and do that now. At current, that's dropping us down to 36,000. After we sell this last one here, it's going to get us a lot closer to 40 grand. And then by the time we sell all of the straw, we should be well over 40 grand. $200,000 is not a lot of money to pay off, man. It's really not. We will be able to chew through that pretty daggone quickly here. Did I just see a raindrop? I guess that's clover or cotton or something floating in the air. I swear I just saw a raindrop, but evidently I didn't. Okay, 430 plus whatever this ends up being. 251, so yeah, right around the 2,500 again. Alright, so I'm going to see if it lets me... It's probably not going to, but I'm going to see if it lets me chop these down while we're here. I doubt it. No, it won't. So we're going to have to wait. And we're going to have to wait until they actually get a little bit more solidified, even if it's a first stage. Well, I guess first stage is what they're on right now. The next stage, even if it's the next stage where they're a little bit bigger, but they're not really, worth anything. They're more like twigs. Then maybe we can be able to get rid of those, but until then, we're not going to be able to do that. And that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So let's drop this off here. Then we'll have the all of the straw pop out of the storage here. And then we'll try to stack it up here. I might have to maneuver the trailer again, potentially. I guess it really depends on where they come, how far out they come. Okay, there they are. You know what? I think we're going to be okay. I'm probably going to have to do 2 trips here. I'm going to need a counterweight. I probably shouldn't even put down the plow. Let's utilize the fertilizer spreader. That always seems to be a better counterweight, honestly. Let's use this. I have a feeling I'm going to maybe have to do 2 trips here. This is, these are quite big. And that trailer is not that large. You have to bear with me. I am not the best at doing this. I will do my best here, gang. But if you're coming to the channel to watch professional stacking and bale stacking, this is not it. This is not it. Okay, that was not bad, actually. That made me look like I actually know what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, this lime is going to be in the way. I tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to move the lime in where it's supposed to be, into the actual shed, if I can actually get underneath it properly. Because if I don't, it's going to be in the way anyway. Now I just got to remember that it's in here. Okay, perfect. Can I get 3 up at the same time here? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, it looks like I just can. Only just. Alright, let's see if we can stack these guys up here. All right, that was not too bad at all. We literally look competent there. We know what we're doing. All right, not bad, not bad. It's much better than, well, I guess it would be yesterday's episode, man. Yesterday's episode was a mess, at the end of the episode, at least, of the vintage survival. I was dropping bales left and right. It was a mess. We're going to put them back here. I probably could, you know, lay them up the same way that we have now, but since we, you know, this is the last 3 we have, we might as well go at them from this angle because we know for a fact we can put them up here without them falling off. Okay, that was good. That was good. Much better than I expected, honestly. So let's put this back away, and we'll go sell these straw bales and see what we get to. Might even pay a little more of the loan off, even more of the loan off. I expect that we're going to get maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000 out of those straw bales at most. I mean, they are large straw bales, to be fair, but I'm just not expecting a ton of money off of that. Why would you, right? It's not really worth that much money anyway. All right, let's turn around here. This was a good investment, man. This trailer was a really good investment. Since we moved our selling point so far away, this is a good investment. All right, moment of truth here, gang. What are we going to get? What's your guesses? Put it down below what your guesses are. I'm going to say we're going to get 43,100 total. That's what we'll have total. I would love to be completely wrong. Oh, that's right. We can't sell them here, can we? We got to go up to the animal dealer. Hold that thought. Animal dealer on the way. All the traffic came out for me. It was wonderful. I'm gonna attempt it. We're gonna cut across here. There we go. All right, my guess was 42,100. That's slightly under $3,000 we're going to get off of this. That was my guess. I'm hoping that we get double that. I just don't expect that. Man, I was really, really close, gang. I said 42,100. We are 42,813. I was very, very close with my guess. That's good, man. That's a real good thing. That's a good chunk of change there for stuff that was just going to be wasted anyway, right? All right, let's go ahead and turn that off for now. Is there anything in the used market for us today? Not really. Not really. This would be fantastic to have. We don't really need it anymore, but that would be fantastic to have. This thing is really cool, but again, what do we need it for? Nothing. This one, same thing. We don't really need it. And then this case is fantastic, but we don't have the money for it. So, and really, I'm not sure we really need that anyway. So, let's do this. Let's pay another $5,000 off. It may not sound like a lot, and it's not. We're at $195,000 on the loan now, but that does get us a lot closer to being able to complete the final objective of this series. We're going to leave it here, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like and subscribe button for me. Thanks so much to my members. Thanks so much to everyone else who's been watching. I really do greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you all in the next episode.